Welcome to me cutting my hair for the first time. It is currently 1:04 a.m. It's 1 in the morning, and you know what that means. It's time to cut my hair for the first time, because I don't feel like going to the hairdresser, and I want it to be shorter. And I'm not a perfectionist with this type of stuff, so if it goes horribly, then I might care, but it doesn't need to go perfect is what I'm saying, basically, for me to be happy with the result. I got some fancy scissors. I literally just washed my hair and it's already looking quite dry, so I'm just gonna re-wet it. So when I say this is my first time cutting my hair, I am not lying, not exaggerating. I've never tried. The most I've ever done is like cut a couple bits at the front, but that is it. So do not use this as a guide of any sort, because I don't know what I'm doing. The length that we're working with kind of just goes down to like maybe my collarbone. I've probably watched maybe 2.5 TikToks and, you know, maybe a couple short YouTube videos on a couple techniques. So basically, expectations is my hair will be shorter after this. I don't mind, like I said, I don't mind if it's not perfect or I look a bit weird. I don't really care too much. I just want it to be shorter. I just like how it feels shorter. I know that some people think that this length looks better on me. That's fine. I don't need to feel like I look better from this. I just want it to be shorter, just to be more comfortable for me. So basically, if it's shorter, if I end up with shorter hair, which I probably will, I'll be happy. I used to ask for the hairdresser is get it cut up to the hairline, like here, you know, quite short, and do some layers. Again, I don't really care if the layers are even. I don't really care if the layers are short. I kind of prefer them to be short. So that's kind of the goal. I don't really know if you're supposed to part it or not for doing the back. But will I notice a difference? Probably not. Having curly hair is probably gonna save me from that. So I have scissors. I have a kind of dirty mirror. God, maybe wearing this dark shirt wasn't a good idea. I can barely see where my hair is. Oh my god. Can I turn this light on? Okay, we have shorter hair. Wow, that went really kind of a bit bad. But Lord Farquaad called and said he wants his bob back. I'm coming for Lord Farquaad's style. Here's how the back is looking. Keep cutting it. It's so difficult to see. Like I said, I don't need the back to be straight at all, but it's so difficult to see if it's like a bit off or if it's majorly off, you know. Keeps curling as well. Okay, next we're gonna try the layering. Do not know where to start. I'm gonna take a guess and say like maybe section the hair a little bit. I don't think this is how I saw it in the videos, but I don't know how to start with how they did it. So they kind of take, let me just take a clump, technical term, right? And then with their hand. So, okay, I think the lower layers should be more like this. I think if you do like this, it'll be very short, which again, I wouldn't really mind. This is gonna be not accurate, but that's fine. I can't tell if I'm cutting of the part I pull out, which is, you know, it's quite fun in terms of really adds to me not knowing what I'm doing at all. On this, I don't know how much to do on each side. I really don't, but that's okay. Just go and try and get full length sections before I move on to the top bit. I feel like that's what I should be doing. It seems okay. There's a weird long bit here, but now there isn't anymore. So we've been doing this. I think we just do a slight more of an angle for smaller layers. Okay, so I've already done one round. I might go again just to kind of see, but you get the idea. I could probably keep snipping. This just feels so nice having it short again. I could probably keep snipping for ages at the layers because let's be real, they're wrong. Like they're just kind of, you know, I gave it a good shot, but I get it, they're probably wrong and probably uneven and all of that stuff. So for my sanity, I'll probably stop doing the layers and kind of, like I said, do the face framing bits and then just kind of just hack around it. Okay, I think I'm basically done here.
Good, I think.
Like,
like once it dry, it's gonna look a little different.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, are you ready for the big reveal? Ta-da! I think it's pretty much perfect for what I was expecting my abilities to be able to do. Actually, if you put me to sleep and then woke me up and said I went to the hairdresser, I'd probably believe you. I personally can't tell a difference. I feel like maybe people, you know, hairdressers, other hairdressers could notice a difference, but me personally, I feel like especially because my curls are quite random and inconsistent, it also helps to make it look normal. It kind of always looks a bit random if I get it cut by a hairdresser. Yeah, I would definitely do it again. I feel like it's great to be able to just tweak your hair or fully cut it and transform it however you like. Obviously, if I didn't have curly hair, I would not probably attempt this because with straight hair and other hair textures, you definitely see mistakes more, it looks like. But like I said, with me and my inconsistent curl texture, it seems to work pretty well. So yeah, we have the slightly shorter face framing bits here. I was worried that I did just this chunk here a bit too much. Like a bit too much of hair went in the chunk. But I think it's fine. I think, you know, just tucked like that and it gradients. My curls sometimes clump into big clumps, as you can see. So it kind of, I think that's another reason it can make the hair look more inconsistent. Then we've got the side and the back. I really think the back went better than I expected. I was kind of worried. You know, I will be honest, when I first did the back and I was cutting, I was thinking, oh my god, this is really hard. Like it was pretty daunting once I realized this feels pretty uneven and I don't know exactly how to correct it. I think this side might have come out a little longer, but like I said, you can't really notice it too much. I did also try a new product I haven't tried before on this style, so I think it turned out fine. I do feel like my hair was a bit sticky. I don't think it's as sticky anymore, but I did use a decent amount. I'll have the products I used today in the description. Honestly, just the cleanup was probably the worst bit of it. Just hair was just everywhere.
Hey, editing me here. Something I wanted to quickly touch on that I never knew about before, but I found out from cutting my own hair. Have you ever heard of hair splinters? I didn't before this, but I found out the hard way what a hair splinter was. It's literally what it sounds like. A hair can get stuck in the skin just like a small piece of wood was, like a normal splinter. So for a day or so after I cut my hair, I had this, splinter feeling in my foot, but I've had that before and I couldn't find it, so I was just kind of ignoring it. It wasn't that bad. But I finally looked at it, and at first I was freaking out because it literally just looks like I'm growing a hair from the bottom of my foot. I'm not going to show any pictures, but it just looked, if you can imagine, just maybe a centimeter or two hair sticking out of the sole of your foot. I was freaking out a bit. I was thinking, oh no, what does this mean? Why am I growing a hair out of my foot? And I was trying to pluck it out and it was hurting a lot, just like it hurts when you pluck a hair that is actually growing from somewhere. But when I got it out, there's no hair follicle or anything like that. And after obviously Googling it, I found out about it happens especially for hairdressers, barbers, maybe people that own pets, but it happens also for people with curly, thick or coarse hair, especially that has been freshly cut. So me having curly, fresh cut hair that I was standing on the whole time while I was cutting my hair sounds like a recipe for disaster for, having a hair splinter. So moral of the story, I don't know what I'm going to do next time. Maybe wear shoes or socks or something to help my feet not get hair splinters again, because that was ouchy, that hurt. But just a heads up. Anyway.
Let me know in the comments below what you think about my technique, if you can call it that. Again, do not use this as a tutorial. I don't want it to mess your hair up. I don't mind about my hair particularly right now. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.